of this main event because while John Cena, Logan Paul, and Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso were combating, John takes I think there was a double down at one point. They're all down, whatever the case may be. And out of the blue, John gets to his feet. He's about to do some dastardly heel-like work when a hoodie-wearing heathen of some kind jumps the rail, slides into the ring, and does a big old double leg on John and starts wailing away on John's head. And my wife goes, "Who the fuck is that?" And as Truth starts wailing away on John Cena's head, the hoodie rides up, and I saw black skin, and I went, "Uh-oh, I know who it is."
I know who it is.
It's Ron. Ron's here. And he starts beating away, and he's got the ski mask and everything on. He starts disrobing, and the place goes bananas. It's our Truth. He's back. We want Truth. The hashtag. It worked. No pun intended. They got him back, and then he does the fucking belt shot. He fucking leaves the ring. Cody takes advantage. Crossroads. Baby faces take the giant win. But enough about the fucking tag team match. The boy is back.
He is.
Our Truth.
I don't remember where we left it, but I'm pretty sure I want to say that we both agreed that this might be a work because the WWE didn't announce it.
I said there was a possibility because the WWE didn't announce it, and also the mere fact that he was the only one really talking about it. There wasn't really any word from any other source, so I left the door open. That there's a good possibility. Yeah, this is probably something they're cooking up because of that one factor. Because normally when they do releases, it's a big thing. There's a whole thing on their website. There's a press release. It's a whole fucking shebang. But what added to the fuel for me for it not being a work was Carlito and Valhalla. He wasn't the only one they released. Now, if you want to tell me that it's long-term storytelling and Carlito's coming back with his PS5 any day now, that's a different story. But I need to have this conversation just really quick. And this is going to be quick because it doesn't take long to explain this. I need people to stop using the word work in the way that they're using it. Okay? I need that to change. Because I don't think people are truly understanding what the word work is. I think, personally, people are confusing that word with another word. I think they're on the right path. I'm not calling anyone stupid here. I just think you're using the jargon incorrectly. So I'd like to quickly clarify something, okay? I don't think people truly understand what a work is, okay? I think they're confusing with a different word, and I'll explain. A work does include the word that I think they're confusing it with. I'll reveal that in a second. But a work is essentially feeding someone some information that is not real. You're making it up or you're giving them a lie to convince them of something so that you can get around them and fool them into believing something that will help you progress. Okay? That's how an angle works. When you do an injury angle, you do a move to somebody, the big splash, right? You do 6 tsunamis, you're coughing up blood, it's a whole deal. That's a work. You know why that's a work? Because the idea of Seth selling in that way is to get Bronson Reed more over with the audience. To convince these people he's a more dangerous man than he probably really is. They're using a fake injury to put over someone else and get them more over as a heel. That is a work. We're working this situation here. The key to a work is progression. Something is supposed to come from the work. It's a very simple jargon that anyone can understand. It's a lot like going to actual work. When you go to actual work, you want to be paid. There's supposed to be a payoff to the work. Okay? That's what a work is. If what you're telling me is a work is that R-Truth went on Twitter and stated that he was released, and you believe that not to be true, that he was lying, that they were working us, right? That they're telling us this bullshit, that he's being released when he's not really being released, and he's going to come back and he's going to do something else, right? If you're considering that a work, I think you're confusing that with a different word. And that word that wrestlers use for that is kayfabe. They're confusing work with kayfabe, in my opinion. They're taking what they think is a lie and calling that a work, as opposed to just saying they're trying to kayfabe me, which is different jargon, inside jargon. Every show that I've ever been to, whenever someone's talking to me, even if it's something not about wrestling, if it's just something that they're telling me they don't want other people to hear or other people to know, they go, hey, brother, kayfabe that for me, okay? Don't tell anybody. That's what that is. Kayfabe is simply just the lie. My name is not actually Ajorsini. But all of you motherfuckers out there know me only as Ajorsini. That's a lie. That's kayfabe. Now, in this particular situation with R-Truth, I don't believe the release was fake or a lie or a work. I am now, as of today, convinced it was 100% true. That they legit released him. Now, true.
You think so?
Yes. And I'll provide what I feel. Again, everything that's being stated here is completely opinion. But I will provide what has convinced me. And the biggest piece of evidence that convinced me was the name change. Before he went on TV on Raw, remember the pay-per-view happened on a Saturday. Before Raw, when he showed up and did the whole promo and cut his hair and everything like that, the day of the pay-per-view, the night of the pay-per-view, when Ron came back and jumped on John Cena, the pay-per-view was fucking over, right? I'm in my room enjoying libations, as Cody Rhodes would call it, because what a shitty second half to my evening. I need to be drunk right now. So I'm doing all kinds of stuff. And my phone blows up. And there's a good friend of mine. And he sent me a picture that he snapped from someone he saw from another page, where it was the night of the pay-per-view. They released new merch. It was a shirt. It was a Ron Killings shirt. And people said, oh shit, I think he's changing his name to Ron Killings. Ron Killings is his real legit name. When he was in TNA, he was known as Ron the Truth Killings. That's where R-Truth comes from. R for Ron, Truth from his TNA days, R-Truth. When he did the thing with John, later that night they released a new shirt for him that said Ron, it was for Ron Killings. That, to me, sealed the deal that this was indeed and in fact a legitimate firing. They fired him for real. Because that firing, I think, was done very quickly, very suddenly. And while I'm sure he saved his fair share of money, it was abrupt. And when they came back to him again to get a new deal worked out, the hitch in the giddy-up that I'm hearing about through the grapevine is that the reason why they let his contract expire and come to an end is because they wanted him to take less money. This is a rumored number, but I'm hearing something around the $500,000 to $550,000 a year. Not official numbers. This is just what I'm hearing. And he didn't want to take less money, and he shouldn't. And if I was in his position, I wouldn't have either. And he didn't ask for a raise. He didn't ask for more. He just didn't want to take a cut. So they just agreed to not resign. And apparently this decision to not resign was not the day of. It was several weeks, possibly even months before it got to this point. But they didn't. Remember I said last week that released was a bad word for him to use because technically his contract was coming to an end? he probably just figured, why wait till the end? You might as well just release me now. And so technically it might have been an actual release when really it was just the end of a contract. They paid him. They fulfilled the deal. And both sides got what they wanted. But there wasn't a re-sign. And in order for a re-sign, you have to have a negotiation, and they couldn't meet together on the negotiation, thus the letting go of R-Truth. Now, the fans believe that the We Want Truth thing is what got him signed again. They said it on TV. Ron pushed it, that it was you guys, you brought me back, which is a babyface thing to say. It's great for television. Unfortunately, I don't buy it. The reason I don't buy it is because he was only gone a fucking week. They only experienced one Monday Night Raw of We Want Truth. When Daniel Bryan got suspended for the bow tie, we went through months of Daniel Bryan, Daniel Bryan. There's been many situations where someone was released, Zack Ryder, woo, 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 for months. He never came back, but there was a voice there. There was a few releases that happened. CM Punk left the company. They chanted for 7 years. There were times where guys would leave and they would chant for forever, and then forever would occur, and they would reconsider. This happened in 1 week, which leads me to believe not everybody was on board with his release in the first place. The conversations never stopped happening. They were just trying to, what I'm hearing now, is meet in the middle. So my assumption is somebody, and I'm not going to play the name game like everybody else is. Triple H is mad. Tony Khan's mad. I'm not Tony Khan, excuse me. Nick Khan's mad. This person's mad. That person's mad. Ari Emanuel's mad. They're mad at each other. They're pointing fingers. I wasn't in the room. I don't know. But I know business, and I know the wrestling business, and I have the feeling that in order for Ron to come back, he had to agree to at least somewhat of a pay cut. And in return, I believe that's where the name change comes into play. Because if you're going to react like this when Truth gets released, just know now that the clock is ticking. There is no forever contract. He may be signed a year, maybe 2 years. Who knows? We'll learn over time what that is. But he signed a deal to come back. In order for that to happen, that means he had to have taken less money. I don't know what that cut was. I'm not going to dig in the man's pockets. But I salute the man. Because he knows that if he's going to plan to do anything outside of WWE, he needs to be able to have some sort of rapport with a name that he can use outside of it. And so his real name would be perfect for that. That's what he was using before WWE. Besides K-Crush and K-Quick and all that stuff, he was using his real name. He can go back to that legally and not have to worry about WWE. He can continue his life post-WWE with this name change. So it's a beautiful meeting in the middle. WWE gets a little bit of what they want. He gets a safety net for when his contract is up. Everybody fucking wins. But now we have a bigger problem. And I told you that that everybody who was chanting the We Want Truth thing is that they were full of shit. They don't really want truth. They're just upset you took their favorite hoodie out of the closet. Okay? He's funny. They like to laugh at him. He's a jokester. They don't even want him in the ring. No fan wants him in the ring. They just want him to continue to do the goofy, laughy stuff that he's been doing for years. But now he's back. And he's not laughing anymore. And I made the joke the other day with the Captain Holt footage with my buddy Stephen James. He's like, we want truth. And he's like, I'm back. And they go, yeah, but I'm not Truth anymore. I'm Ron Killings, and I'm mad now. And they go, oh no, not like that. What are you doing? No, that's not what we wanted. We're going to see now if y'all really Truth fans. We're going to see now because he hired his ass back. But he ain't laughing no more. You see all that clip I sent you? Him cussing at Dave LaGreca on the fucking Busted Open radio? He out here cussing.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck you think you talking to? And uh-oh. The whites are not going to be happy about this. No siree, Bob. This ain't the truth y'all wanted. So now I want to see it. I want to sing it. Bring it to me. Show me. Show me that love for truth that y'all have so much. Show me that fandom. I want to see it. I want to see it. Did you see his promo on Raw?
Yep.
Listen. Listen. I'm familiar with that truth. Me personally, I'm looking forward to this version of our truth. I want to see what a PG version of that TNA Ron Killings is going to look like on WWE television. I'd like to see it. I want to see if he can do it. Because Netflix is going to let him get away with a few things. But he ain't going to be out here with the fucks and the shits and the bitches. So we'll see how that goes. I don't believe for 1 second this was a work. I just think that some shit went down. And there's a lot of mixed signals in that locker room. Because, somebody go tell Carlito that it's a fucking work. Because he's in Puerto Rico right now.
He's working all right.
Yeah. Valhalla. Somebody go down to the ranch and go tell Valhalla it's all the work. You can come back any minute now. No, this was real. They let his ass go. And it must have been an internal battle on that decision because it got rectified almost immediately. And they bent over backwards to make sure he was happy because he's about to do some shit he's been trying to do for years now.
Well, let's see if he does it.
He gonna do it. I just watch. Mark my fucking words. This crowd's not gonna take to it. Because that's not what they were asking for. They didn't ask for Ron Killings. They wanted our truth. They wanted the juking and the jiving and the how do you do, sir? That's what they wanted. They didn't want an uppity Negro. They wanted that laughing Negro they were laughing at before. And I'm not trying to make that a racial thing, but that's kind of what that was. That's what he's saying now, that's what that was. It was a gimmick. It was goofy. It was laughing. It was this. It was that. He got over and he made his money because you pointed and you laughed at him. Now he's not giving you a reason to point and laugh. Will you still be a fan? I want to see it. Because I don't think you are. I'm calling bullshit. Like my wife said, it's that dress in the closet that I don't wear anymore, but I can't get rid of it. Because that's the dress. I haven't worn it in 15 years, but you know what? That's my dress. It stays right there. It doesn't go nowhere. That's truth. He was a blankie. He was a binky. No matter who came up from NXT, no matter who got released, no matter who got signed, you always had truth. And they took their security blanket away, and like a baby, wah, they wah, wah, wah. And now, okay, your blankie's back. Ooh, what does that smell? That's not my blankie. Oh, no. Oh, that's the wrong blankie. No. Take that back. Bring me my old binky, not this binky. What's this binky? No, thank you. It's not the same. It won't be the same. Just another example of what I've been saying for years, fans and their toys. That's what we are. That's what wrestlers are. It's fans and their toys. They just play with their toys. Clink, 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 clink. And they took a toy out of the toy bin. They got mad, so they put the toy back. But it was missing pieces. It wasn't the same toy. That's all it is. We don't
Fair enough.
And we'll be talking about this for a minute now because now we're gonna see. By the way, our truth I mentioned earlier was on the show on SmackDown attacking John Cena. So we'll see where that goes now. But y'all was ready. A Saturday Night Main Event. There was an actual movement online for people to try to get Truth to win the WWE Championship, and that was the goofy, funny dude. Are you going to be as supportive for the serious, dark version of Truth beating an actual John Cena for the WWE? It's not going to happen, but would you be in support of it? I want to see it.